diplomatic showdown is brewing between Washington and Kuala Lumpur over Israel. 8 U.S. lawmakers have urged Secretary of State Marco Rubio to review America's relationship with Malaysia after Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim announced that Israeli citizens found in Malaysia would be deported. The lawmakers have gone further, asking Rubio to suspend U.S. military education funding if Malaysia refuses to reverse its policy. But Malaysia says its foreign policy is not up for negotiation. The letter, signed by 8 Democratic members of Congress, accuses Malaysia of discriminating against Israeli nationals and argues that American security assistance should not support a government that targets citizens of one of Washington's closest allies. The lawmakers also cite Malaysia's long-standing refusal to recognize Israel and its reported ties with Hamas as reasons for reviewing bilateral relations. While the letter urges the State Department to act, it is ultimately up to the Trump administration to decide whether any policy changes follow.
We urge you to undertake a review of our security and economic relationship with Malaysia. Should Malaysia refuse to reverse this discriminatory policy within 15 days, we urge you to suspend IMF funding. With our aid and support comes an expectation that they won't target the nationals of one of our closest allies.
Malaysia's response has shifted the debate beyond Israel. Instead of directly answering the accusations made by U.S. lawmakers, Malaysian leaders are framing the dispute as a question of national sovereignty. Kuala Lumpur insists that decisions on diplomatic recognition, border controls, and foreign policy belong solely to Malaysia, not to foreign governments or legislatures. That changes the story from one about Israel to one about whether Washington can use diplomatic and security ties to influence another country's foreign policy.
Malaysia is a sovereign state. Our foreign policy is decided in Putrajaya, not Washington. No foreign legislature has the right to dictate who we admit or which state we recognize. Malaysia stands with Palestine openly, without apology.
We don't even use the word neutrality because we're not neutral when it comes to Gaza or the atrocities inflicted or the attack against Lebanon. So we use the term centrality. It means that we are not tied to this particularly any particular ideological position or superpower, but we do express our feelings, our position strongly, consistent with our policies on human rights, on abuse and atrocities.
Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim has been laying the groundwork for this position for months. During the Russia-ASEAN summit, he defended Malaysia's independent foreign policy, praised closer engagement with Russia and China, welcomed Malaysia's growing role in BRICS, and argued that Kuala Lumpur would continue making decisions based on its own national interests rather than aligning with any global power bloc. The current dispute with Washington appears to be the first major test of that strategy.
The hypocrisy of many of these countries in the West is so stark. But why is there complete silence when it comes to the atrocities, the aggression against Iran? That's why we took a very strong position against the initial attack by the Zionist Israeli regime.
Malaysia has never recognized Israel, and its support for Palestine has remained a cornerstone of its foreign policy for decades. But the latest dispute has turned that long-standing position into a broader diplomatic confrontation with Washington. As Congress urges the Trump administration to use military cooperation and diplomatic leverage against Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia is making one message unmistakably clear. Its foreign policy will be decided in Putrajaya, not in Washington. Whether this confrontation escalates into concrete U.S. action now depends on the White House and the State Department, but it has already opened a wider debate over sovereignty, Palestine, and the limits of American influence.